welcome back to my show. In today's episode, I have a really special guest with us here today. Her name is Camiccia. She is the author of Memory Keeper. So, without further ado, let's begin. Hi, Jennifer. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Camiccia, and I'm the author of The Memory Keeper and North Shore.
That's amazing. So, could you please tell us a little bit about your book, Memory Keeper?
Sure. It's about a young girl who has this extraordinary memory. It's called an HSAM memory, where she can remember pretty much every detail about her own life. And she's worried about her grandmother, who is actually losing her memory. So Lulu, the main character, is trying to use her extraordinary memory to find a way to solve this crisis that she sees in her grandmother. And so she stumbles across this idea in her research of the brain that maybe there's a traumatic memory that her grandmother has. And if she can just figure out what that traumatic memory is, she can fix her grandmother's failing memory. So it's kind of like a little bit of a mystery where she tries to discover her grandmother's past and also sort of learn how to trust other people with her secret of her memory.
That sounds like an amazing topic to write about, and I have personally read this book, so I really enjoyed the way you wrote the characters. They're amazing, really realistic. You could actually connect with them even if you do not have the same experiences as them. So I think that's really nice. So on that basis, I would like to know that how did you write such characters which really resonate with your audience or your readers?
Well, thank you so much for that compliment. That means a lot to me because I do really feel that although a good plot is important, I feel like characters are what really drive a good story, because if you don't care about them, then you're not going to want to keep reading, right? So one trick that I use with my characters is I try to think of how, considering the plot, for instance, with this young girl, she has a secret. She also has this sort of extraordinary thing about her. And she's also really worried about her grandmother. So those are things that we can relate to in the fact that she cares for her family, that she might have a secret or feel different from other people. I think everyone can relate to feeling different from other people. And so I try to think about what those things are that everyone feels. And I write the character from there. And then I try to also think about maybe a person that I know that has similar characteristics. And I think about how they would act if they were put in a certain situation. And so it helps me kind of go back and connect how a character would authentically react to situations, and not just how I would react to something, which I think is very easy to do as a writer. You want to kind of write yourself in everything at first, but it's really important to remember that each character is different. Just like, all your friends that you have, they're all different. They all have different personalities, your parents. Everyone has a different way of looking at things and reacting to things. So I try to think specifically and kind of assign a person to each character that I can go back and kind of think, oh, would they act that way? No, I don't think they would. And if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And I think that method is really good. So all the young writers out there, or even like grown authors, I think you should definitely use this method. And I think you should try doing what Jennifer is doing, and even maybe try keeping a journal maybe. And maybe when you're talking to people, try noting down the mannerisms. Of course, by asking the permission, of course. You don't want to end up making it kind of creepy, right? You can see how people are talking, how they're moving, and all sorts of things.
Exactly.
So, as a matter of fact, so now that I'm talking about all of this, have you ever done this? Have you ever wrote down any of the characteristics or emotions or any of that stuff which people in your life have been doing?
I have notebooks everywhere, and I will jot something down. I've been doing it my whole life with my own kids too, because I think they just say the funniest things, so I'll write down what they say. And like you said, it's good to ask people's permission before you write anything. But yes, I have done that. And sometimes I like to, before COVID, I used to like to go out a lot and just people watch. And I would watch how, a mom would interact with her child, or two kids playing on the playground, how they would, interact with each other. And that really helped me develop different personalities. Excuse me.
That's amazing. I think that's like really nice to do. Like when you're like looking around at people, you can like really resonate with them and then try putting them. Now, again, another question I have, which is based on characters, is that like, how do you like, even when you like write your ideas on like a piece of paper, how do you like get those ideas onto your actual draft? Like, how do you input all of that information?
Well, like I said, I keep notebooks, and I'm not incredibly detailed all the time, but I do like to go back and look at them. I keep a lot in my memory. And then when I'm going through a book, I will do different passes for different things. And one of the things, I will go through a manuscript and I will check the characters, and then I will look at all the things that I put next to them. Like, for instance, they're more outgoing, or even someone's name that I think that someone's like. And when I revise, I'll go back and kind of double check to make sure I'm being clear and that I'm being consistent throughout the whole manuscript. So that's kind of what I do. I do have a different document sometimes that I'll put different ideas in, and I don't always check it while I'm writing my draft, which I need to do more, but I will when I'm revising. I'll go back and just make sure that I'm actually being consistent.
That's a really helpful thing to say. Since like I think for me also personally, whenever I write as well, I have notebooks, but since I keep them on the side of my desk, I hardly use them when I actually should be using them.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard, right? Because you get in the story and you don't want to like stop.
Yeah. So another question, this will be the last question, and then the next few will be like fun questions. Like, so this is more like a cool question to ask. Like, so it's more than cool. It's like a simple personal question kind of thing. So what do you like to do when you're not writing?
Well, I love to read, and I think I always have loved to read. So I think that is a must if you're a writer. To read is a huge part of writing, I think, because you get lost in other people's worlds, and you can also learn techniques. I learned a lot from reading other people, especially if you wanted to write middle grade. It's good to read a lot of middle grade, but more current, not just older. I mean, older has the classics have their place as well. But also when I'm writing something, I like to read something completely different than what I'm writing. So it kind of triggers a different part of my memory. I also love taking walks, especially now with so many lockdowns. It's just nice to get out and be around the ocean. I live about 20 minutes from the ocean, and I live next to a river, so I like to walk next and just be in nature with my dog and who I love. And I also have kids. So my daughter is going to have her first baby, so I'm going to be a grandmother. So that's something else I'm looking forward to.
That's amazing. So the final thing is that where can readers and writers find you online?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter at Jen Camiccia, and Instagram Jen Camiccia Writes. And I've also just started TikTok. I am not quite sure about it yet, but I'm trying it. It's kind of fun to just do different things and to put yourself out there a little bit, do something different that you're not used to. So that's where you could find me. I also have a website that you can look up. I have a link tree on my Twitter and my Instagram that you can find all that on.
Perfect. So I'll include all of that in the show notes. So anyone who wants to connect with Jennifer or wants to read more about her books, can definitely go there and check those out. So thank you for being here with me today and talking about your book and yourself and your writing life. And I hope you have a nice day. And with that, everyone, this is the end of the episode. I hope you all enjoy and learn something new. Okay, guys, bye.